to see if any of you are commenting. And no. Oh, can anybody see? Can anybody see and hear me? I'd love for somebody to post. Oh, yeah, you can. You can see me and you can hear me. Great. Okay, so I'm just going to go and I'm going to fly blind. Apologies if I can't get to your comments. I will either do another video and get to them or not. So here, you know, we called it a Kasta catastrophe because here's the deal. This is a project that many YouTube influencers are the creators of, and they are also the, you know, the team of and the supporters of and the investors of, which meant just about every man, woman, and their dog in crypto trading that follows these YouTubers were going to be participating in this Kasta launch. Now, as a business owner, when I do launches, I always make sure I've got enough bandwidth. I've got all of my apps up to date. I've got everything plugged in, charged up. I've got backups upon backups upon backups so that when I launch, I'm not going to lose out on revenue because my systems crash because it can't support the number of people on it. So, you know, that is what I do. And many, many business owners online do that as well. So for a platform as huge as ByBit to be booting out a whole lot of traders and then for them not to be able to log back in, to me, that's not really good management. Like, I don't know what happens. This often happens with launches, by the way. And one of the things that Teresa had said to me is like, is this incompetency because I don't get that ByBit are incompetent, or is it a conspiracy because there were some people who were live who were able to trade, and we saw that on YouTube, but there were others that got booted out. So how did that get determined, right? So that's just our beef. We are going to explore, you know, what's happened. I've been on to tech support to find out what's going on, and it's been very quiet. We haven't been given any reason whatsoever. So I'm looking forward to BitBoy Crypto doing something, and George from Cryptos Are Us, because they're the sleuths and the inspectors, and they can figure stuff out and find out what the heck's going on. But to me, it kind of feels like, it just doesn't kind of feel right to me. Something very, very wrong about it. And we'll get to the bottom of it and share it with you, because what I wanted to do in this video, we'll look at Bitcoin. Where's Bitcoin at? We'll talk a little bit about Kasta, where it's going to from here. But what I wanted to talk about is, what did we learn today? And what can we do to set ourselves up so this never happens again? And also, this is a warning signal for when things go crazy at the top of the market and everybody's selling and trying to get out of their cryptos and into USDC or DT. Are you prepared for that? Do you already have your sell orders in for the top of the market, so that if you get booted out of the platform, you don't have to wait to log back in only to find that the price has crashed and you've lost all that profit? So that's really important. So first, let's talk about Kasta. It actually had a similar trajectory to VPAD, which is the V-Launch token, and similar guys. That was MMCrypto's project. It's not a similar project, but you know, a lot of the same guys are involved in it, and a lot of the followers who follow went into the VPAD launch that was on Phoenix would have gotten into the Kasta launch as well. So we know that there was heavy trading, because immediately it opened up at 4 cents and immediately shot up within, like, it was 10 minutes before I could log in, right? And within 10 minutes, it had gone all the way up to well, blah, 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 what is it, $2, and then fallen back in again. Because by the time I went, oh, I can do this on my phone, and I got my phone set up, it was around about, the price was around about $1.77. So, so that's that. And that's what happened. So some of you may be sitting in a loss right now because you got in at the top and thinking it was going to keep going up, and it's come down, and it might even come down even further, right? So what I wanted to do is I wanted to go over VPAD, and it looks like Ethereum and Bitcoin are falling into their bottom of their wedge, which is great. I wanted to come in and show you VPAD what happened with the VPAD launch. Where are we? Spot trades, VPAD, there it is here. And I didn't have this set up ahead of time, sorry. So we're going to have to do that. You'll see the new moon dip coming over. Let's just get this up so we can see. We can see that immediately, like within a few hours of trading, we got this huge spike that went all the way up to $1,500. Which was absolutely crazy. Then it came crashing down. Then it consolidated kind of on an upward trajectory. Here it is here. We got a little bit of a bear pennant here. So VPAD has performed better, in my opinion, than the Kasta launch. And that surprises me because I would have thought Kasta would have had a heck of a lot more people involved in it just because there's a sheer number of people that are involved in it, sheer number of investors and also YouTube influencers that have been talking about it. So that's interesting. So we're looking at VPAD. We had a bear bull pennant. And then let's have a look at what this is. Bottom line is, guys, day's not over. It's not over. So if you're sitting in a loss, don't worry about it. Day's not over. Not only that, I don't think you can lose long term because of what the Carls have got planned, the staking opportunities, the DeFi financing opportunities once the app gets launched, which is supposed to happen sometime this month. So here we go. We went over the target, right, and kept trading up just a little bit more, came back down, went up, and then started consolidating. So that was the VPAD launch with similar guys involved in the project, and certainly followers are in play here. And you can see that the whale price versus the whale money flow is starting to get up here, trend exhaustion in the red. So this is gearing up, I think, for a bigger dip here to find its medium before it comes back up again. Kasta, I think, has had a little bit more of a solid consolidation. It hasn't just gone up and up and up and up. So I don't know if that's a good, I mean, it is a good thing to have that. But from the perspective of somebody wanting to get in and make a lot of money just on that very first hour of the launch, that was sabotaged by ByBit for many traders, which I think, as I said, we'll get to the bottom of it. But what we've got here, I can't draw anything on this spot order chart. I don't know why my charting isn't available here. But basically what's happening here is we've got a curve and we're starting to roll over and come back down. I did here thing here on paper at around about $1.05, about between $1 to $1.05 is a really good support level. If we break below that, I think gravity is going to pull us down a bit more. So what you're going to want to do is put your Fibonacci retracement levels in. You want to start at the bottom of the candle, draw it up to the top, pull it over, and have a look at the 50% and have a look at the golden ratio. Now for VPAD, because it's in a similar pricing, if we did that for VPAD, and I'm just going to go on that candle there, I'm not going to go all the way up to 1500. We if this is, oopsie, this is looking at a potential dip here. We could come back down and find a nice what do you call it, support at $1.20, and of course we could come down to the golden ratio and test that at around 92, under $1. Not too late to get in on a really good project for VPAD. And it's the same with Kasta. You might have not gotten in if you were, especially for Americans who weren't able to get the allocation. So you didn't get some Kasta at 4 cents, but it's not too late and the day's not over, right? So in a day or so, we should be able to pull up Kasta on what do you call it, on TradingView, but we can't for now, right? We're watching it and looking at it through the ByBit spot trading. And so what I've done is just hand drawn these based on the prices over here on VPAD, just because it's a similar pattern. And and then had a look at where we might retrace back down to, and certainly where we could end up at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I think it's possible that we could get back up over $2. Yeah, so here we go. Where are we right now for Kasta? We're down at $1.05 and dropping. Okay, so bottom line, folks, it's not too late to get in on this. Watch for the dump. Watch for the dump. If we go under $1, gravity's going to pull us down to the 50% Fibonacci or the golden ratio, and then that would be a really good time for you to buy back in, and then you could dollar cost average down if you got in higher, or you can get in if you actually miss out altogether. So here's some lessons that we've learned. Number one, everybody in Crypto Ninjas and on Discord, we were messaging each other like crazy. We were all up, we were logged in, we were ready to go. I had my cup of tea. I had my buy and sell orders set up, ready to go. And I saw the countdown. And as soon as the launch happened, seconds, I saw that it was just going around and around in circles, and I had to log back in again, and I couldn't log in. And that happened with so many people, as we said. So it took me a moment to pick my phone up, get sorted on my phone. So what do we learn? Whenever we're getting involved in these launches, have your computer, your phone, and your iPad all set up, ready to go. So if you get locked out of one platform, you can still be in on the other platform. That's lesson number one, right? And lesson number two, which I have actually already done, you'll see current orders here. I have all of my sell orders in case it goes crazy, and it follows the same pattern as VPAD. And so those orders are already in. So if it happens again and all of a sudden there's a huge sell-off and we get locked out, my orders are already in and they're going to fire off. So that's a really good strategy for you to do. Remember, let's have a look at Bitcoin. Remember, we're in the new moon phase, and new moon to full moon is usually sideways, slightly downward action if we don't get an outright dump. So let's get over to Bitcoin. I've got so many Bitcoin charts here and I can't remember which one. Here we go. This is the one that I've cleaned up. We are trading within these channels. I've been talking a lot about this in our Discord server. This is the support. This is the what do you call it? The resistance up here at about 52,203. And we've been trading really nicely within this range, up and down, very similar to the last time we got a big dump in May. And we are in this descending wedge. So that means we could possibly see further downward action. We could retest the bottom again. Obviously, it is possible that if we keep retesting this bottom, and enough times that we break through it and go to the downside, in which case it is possible that we could then hit the pink line, which is coming up on the descending line, which is the triangle, the larger triangle that we're in for the markets. So I think that we've got to watch what's going on with Bitcoin to be seeing what's going on with Kasta, and if there's any more, let me just get all that out. Yeah. Any more downward action. So you can see what I've got here. Those dots are full moon and new moon. Got an ascending narrowing wedge on the larger time frame, on the daily and the weekly, and we're towards the bottom of it, which is one of the reasons why I'm 90% confident. If we come down, I don't think we're going to go much lower than 44. There's a lot of people talking about 40,000, 35,000. If that happens, it could just be a wick. But I'm pretty confident that we've been leveling off here, finding support, and getting ready to break to the upside and retest this resistance level here for Bitcoin. We just need to watch this. Can anybody see that? Just need to watch that. Head and shoulders. Now that would take us below the last dip, which would mean we would have posted a lower low. That is not a good sign. We don't want that to happen, right? We want to bounce somewhere off this level here or down here if we have to go lower to come back up. But we're at the bottom of the channel of this wedge here, and we're towards the bottom of this green channel that we're trading in. And we're also looking at, as far as the RSI is concerned, we're under 40%. So I think that I personally don't think we've got that much lower to go. Trading ideas would be wait for the breakout of this downward channel so that we have a decisive movement to the upside. And we might do some more TA. Last thing I want to talk about is the new moon. I had said in Discord, I didn't think the new moon was going to see a big dump this time. I think it was going to be more in alignment with a correction, and that is exactly what happened. Remember, new moons are dumps, full moons are pumps. Full moon, pump, full moon, pump, dump, pump, right? Not a good full moon cycle last time. But the last new moon was a really big dump. If you put this on your chart, it's MP for moon phases, you will see consistently, we're seeing some pumping and dumping happening around new moon, full moon. New moon is the dump. So we got the dump, and we could see a little bit of further downward action as we're talking as far as the moon cycles is concerned. So that's consistency. We've got confluence. And then on the 17th of January, we've got the new moon. So a day before, coming up to that, we might actually see the support being in, getting ready for those higher numbers. So we might be trading sideways or within this range more than likely, the bottom here to the top here within the next week or so. So basically, that's all I wanted to hop on and say. We're still actually on holiday. We weren't going to go live this week. We're going to go back to being live next week. So Teresa will be with me by then. And then that's it. Looks like we've got a bit of a bounce here. So we are finding consistent support just above the $1 line. So guys, we will keep you posted on this. I think we're going to keep watching Kasta and VPAD because I think they're really good opportunities long term. Great people that are involved in it, great heart, great ideas. I think it's going to go really well. Just very, very disappointing that the launch didn't happen according to plan. I mean, luckily I had participated in the launch pad, so I already had Kasta at 4 cents, but I wanted to get some more down here, somewhere around here when we launched and really participate in that launch because I knew this was going to happen. I knew that was just going to go straight up, and that was a really good opportunity to to do well for yourself there. And so many people missed up on it. So we will keep you posted on why that happened and possibly even look at making sure that that doesn't happen again and what we can do to warn platforms we're watching them, and they better have expanded their bandwidth to be able to cope with the numbers, because a platform as big as Bitcoin, in my opinion, should have known. I mean, Carl has been saying there were 200,000 people on the whitelist for the email. ByBit knows how many traders they've got. They knew how many people were involved in the launch pad because they were buying Bit and they helped their coin inflate and go up, right? So they knew the numbers. So they knew that there was going to be a massive amount of activity at that moment. And for it to crash at the precise moment that we're launching, but it didn't crash for everybody, it only crashed for a certain number of people. I'm sorry. I just think that, you could do better. And that's all I'm going to say. So folks, that is it from me. Let me just check if I can actually see any of your questions now. I'm not on the computer where I can go backwards and forwards. I usually have 2 computers up. Oh, Harry's telling me if you select advance on the ByBit chart, the drawing tools will come up. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Okay, guys. So we'll speak to you real soon. We'll be getting back up into our regular routine starting next week. We may go live again by the end of the week, especially if we know what's going on. We'll certainly upload a video to update you on what happened with Kasta today so that we can make sure that next time we participate in a launch, that does not happen again. Bye for now, guys. Until we meet again, trade consciously.